And this is why we introduce the encounters, a place where we meet. This place is defined as Prespa. It could be defined as anything else, with its history that we have said so many times. And I have shown you all these different layers of history that are overlapping. But more important, what it is to make all these great extended walks around Prespa that are the reason why we have come to the need to have the conference encounters at the beginning and the encounters now. So now we are from 2025 to 2027. For 25 to 2025, we had these topics. These are the topics of 2025. So we are proposing that we have to go from topics to topos. And for that reason, we are suggesting to introduce a 7+7 places in a 2-year laboratory of ideas. And in order to do that, what we will do is to invite 7 Prespa residents and 7 artists who have Prespa as a reference, who have been working in Prespa, to introduce 7 places of Prespa and 7 places, both of them, and these are going to be the references of our and the topics, so to say. The topos will become the topics of 2027. It will not be verbal, it will be places. So it will be something like this. So if we think of a spatial representation, if with red are the residents and with yellow are the artists, all these are moving around Prespa, which is this blue space, and they are exchanging ideas. For instance, I addressed, this is a sample, and Yannis Daikopoulos. Yannis, are you here? Are you listening to us?
Yes.
Yannis has been our guide for more than 20 years. He has taken all over, not only Prespa, Western Macedonia. And so I asked him, knowing the affection that he had to the place, after all these years of walking, of being around, of traveling in this territory, Yannis, what is the place that if you would have selected one place, that would be the valid one, and for what reason? Yannis, it's your turn now. I can help you with the English.
Okay.
So he selected this.
Are you listening to?
Yes, very well.
Well, Yannis chose me to find a place that I am very in touch and very sentimental with the place in that area. There are a lot of places, actually, but one of them I have given the name primitive point, Αρχέγονο.
Primordial.
Or Primordial, if you like. And it's a very remote place and very untouched by humans. It's near to, as you see in the photos, it's near in Greek-Albanian borders. And let the previous picture, Yannis. And I think this is very interesting picture because we can see the tail of the small lake Prespa,
which is here,
and with a lot of flowers, green flowers. But it's an area that there's a hidden history behind this. For example, from the ancient years, in those per valve, this passage, as you see through those mountains. Alexander the Great had the battle in Tsakoni. Tsakoni is that area over there. And he had a battle there against the Illyrians. In the recent years, the current years, the battles between Italians and Greek soldiers, and maybe the most interesting is from the Civil War. That place was a refuge in soldiers of Democratic Army. Anyway, this is a remote area, and has a very interesting side from the environmental interest. As you see, what I have discovered in the recent years, from my point of view, there's very interest between borders. And this interest we found between sciences and between borders between countries. So it's interesting because we find different cultures between Albanian or Greek people or from the northern Macedonia. It's the three states area, as we call it.
Okay, can you go to the next one, Yannis, here? That's the other
place,
side.
That's the place of this mountain, Varba. That's near to the small lake. That's the Varba. So that's very... we have a lot of holes. A lot of holes. I don't know how to say in English. Ασβεστολιθικά, Yanni, if you...
Ναι, θα το πω. So this is when you are here on
lime,
the one
lime soil. It's
on
a
the
lime
one side
soil.
you face this, when you turn your back you will see that. So this is... Yes, Yannis.
It produces very different microclimate. So we have a lot of diversity of plants. There's a rich biodiversity of plants. The holes and the hills and holes and hills, and it's very, very interesting. It's a natural biological garden, I can say that. That's why I like this place. And there's a lot of rocks. Maybe we can have a different dynamic from those rocks. You can find a lot of natural sculpture in the sculpture in rocks like this. So all of those things, it's very touched to me. And I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to ask me something. I don't know the path you can go there is from Krystallopigi by road. Only in summer, because 2 times a year, there's a lake, there's a karstic phenomenon near to this place. So if this lake, this karstic lake emerged, it's very difficult to approach this area. And this karstic lake emerges to spring or autumn for about 14 days.
The concept is that one could walk to this area either from Krystallopigi or even from Mikrolimni. That's something.
Or you can go with a four-wheel drive from
only walking.
Krystallopigi.
Forget the.
And I don't think we will have a phone there. I don't know if we have a satellite phone.
Okay. Anything else to add?
Anything else? I don't know.
I will share with you this PowerPoint. And also we will create in a website something. So mainly it is a remote area that is reachable through two areas that are in the far end of Prespa, but they have this particular character. And then I asked Ada, that most of you know, she was also the coordinator of the soup event.
Yes,
The bean soup. Yes, Ada.
everyone.
So what was your place, Ada, from all Prespa? Ada is born in Prespa, and her family has been in Prespa for more than a century. So she is really someone who has experienced either directly or with her family stories, the history of Prespa since the very, very past, so to say. Anda. If you need me to translate something, just let me know.
Okay, the place that I see you is Koula, and is the place that where meet my father, my mother. I am born in Kozani, and my mother is from Prespa, from Psarades, and I want to show you the place Koula. Koula is the most the narrow strip of land that divides the lake into small and large Prespa, also called the Great Plain. It was created by the deposit of the stream Bela Voda of Varnuntas. The diversion of the stream into the Great Prespa took place in 1936. In this place was written the epilogue of the Greek Civil War. With the name Koula, we talk about the river. The river, 4 kilometers long, is the waterway that connects the small to the Great Prespa. It crosses the Mikros Campos, the small plain, and is a wetland of paramount importance. In the Koula River, there was a dam built to control the flow of the waters of the Mikros Campos, which overflow into the Great Prespa. The difference in elevation between the two lakes reaches 118 centimeters. Koula is one local commercial hub, a cluster of traces which stand today as monuments and testify to the socioeconomic importance of the place Koula. There is the huts of the fishermen who left the village Psarades and stayed there after fishing in Koula with a net from the land, gripos. The scale of plastinga or plastinga, as the locals called it, where the fish were weighed before being sent to the market. Later, the cannery, where men and women from the area now had work, and the product went abroad. The small tavern of the same the tourist shop plaza and the nautical team. The military outpost of Koula is the fourth of last outpost between Florina and the Greek-Albanian border that was created after the civil war in the area. First outside Florina, second in Vigla, third in Pervali. After the change of government, its operation was typical until it stopped in the middle of 1980s. It was made again in 1995 to control Albanian refugees. It is now deserted. Next to it are the monuments of two airmen, the British Buchanan, killed 1941, and the Greek Othon Papadimitriou, killed 1949.
So there are two young people who have their monuments there. They were both in 22, 23 years old. The one was a British pilot that was killed and we have more information on that when the Nazis invaded in 1941. And Othon Papadimitriou was killed during the last day, almost the last day of the Civil War. And we have information about these, extensive information.
This is the white identity card from my grandmother, Theodora Tutunji. It was the cards that have the permanent residents. They were allowed to commute within a 30-kilometer radius from their permanent residence. Έπρεπε υποχρεωτικά να υποδείξουν αυτή την ταυτότητα για να μπορούν να κινηθούν μέσα σε αυτό το πεδίο.
To wrap it up, so this is a very important paper document to live in Prespa until 1980. In order for someone to circulate in this area, they could not go as we go now, that we move from one place to another. They had to have this white card, as they call it.
Ήταν μια συνθήκη, ένα εσωτερικό σύνορο.
It was an interior border.
Και επίσης, and also Koula is Koula Bridge. The reason I chose the location Koula and placed the pin right on the bridge is because I personally feel that is exactly where my ontological position is, a boundary point that defines my origin. My parents met in Prespa in 1968. My mother comes from Psarades, and at that time she served as a kindergarten teacher in Vrondero. My father comes from Kozani and was a probationary officer in Prespa with a presence at the Lemos, Koula, and Urinda outpost in Vrondero. I was born and raised in Kozani. I used to go to my grandparents in Psarades constantly during the holidays, where I would meet with my friends and relatives. Today I am active in Prespa professionally. Now I meet with relatives and friends, with visitors, with you of the visual path, artists, trains, colleagues, and many new friends. Every time across the Koula Bridge, this internal border, I feel joy and sadness in equally intensity. Joy for what I will encounter, sadness for what I leave behind, whether I go or live. In 2027, we will walk and read together the place Koula. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And we move to the third. These are the three of the, we will not, I give you three as an example now of the entire process. So Christos, of course, Christos now comes as someone who is an artist. Then Yannis and Ada came as the residents of the place. So Christos, is your turn. You don't have to read the exact text. You can just phrase it in your own words.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Yannis. Hello to everyone. This is my idea for the walk 2027, 7 place, 7 topics. I want to create a new path from the area around the Psarades. So I can, Yannis, give the next slide. So I want to speak about the description, that it's not so, the route description, that's not so important now, but we can make, as you see in the map, we can make one circle up from Psarades through the forest,
Έστω στα ελληνικά.
πού είναι, κέντρος, ρε.
Cheddar tree.
Cedar tree, yeah. So we can have some. We have to visit the old Santa Barbara church that's destroyed, and we can see the napalm bomb. It's some places that I put in the map, as you see. So we continue from there to the balcony, one point view that you can see the Koula and the small and big Prespa. And then we can continue to Psarades, to the village from Agios Georgios, the church, to the village of Psarades. So in the half route, we have with the red line, there is one path that it's not exist. So my idea is to create this new path, and I think it's gonna be interesting work. That because there is a very steep and very how to say, very too much bushes, that it's not allowed to reach at the top, at the point view of D. So this route contains the 3 elements that I have in my mind. That it's the one, it's nature, that we can pass from this old cedar forest. The second one is the history, that it's hidden or visible sometimes, and you need just to look around to be a good observer, that you can see. And the third part, it's the view, that it's something that I use to my work also. I always try to find the good view points that helps me to my work. So the idea, one of the ideas that I have, is to have some marking signs in the path that we're gonna created by the artists or the residents from the Prespa, that they can show the basic information as the distance or the direction, but they're gonna have also one QR code that we're gonna have some narration from narratives from it depends from the sign. If we are in the cedar trees, we're gonna have a narration from one environmentalist, or then from one historian or visual artist or local people from Prespa. So they're gonna be 4 stops in this new path, this route, and we're gonna create some paint box. Had one idea to have with of course the necessary equipment inside for a very fast sketches or a better sketch. I don't know. It depends for the time that you want to spend. So after that, we're gonna have the route, and it's gonna be a pictorial. I'll write it. Let me see my notes. Sorry.
Okay,
Ναι, μια απεικόνιση του μονοπατιού.
this is the representation of the path.
Okay. So,
Okay.
okay. This is a realistic view. You
We
can
will
see.
have, you can ask questions when we finish with this project.
Okay. Okay.
So the
okay.
idea was to go from words to the 7 places. These are the 7 places that we have been, some of them that we have been working with. As you see, we spread all over Prespa. There will be the opportunity to really initiate ideas, having this as a beginning point, and then to see what we will do from 27 and on. So thank you very much